Carolyn Kirby and Liz Massakayan in beach volleyball. Their accomplishments have been unparalleled. The last glitch on their victory highway, Austin, Texas, a year ago, when Barbara Fontana and Lori Kotis captured their first title. Prime Network proudly presents the Coors Light Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. Today from Zilker Park in Austin, Texas, it's stop number 3 on the WPVA Tour. And hi once again, everybody. Along with Maria Barnes, I'm Drew Goodman. Rather unbeach-like temperatures this day in the Lone Star State. It is rather cool, but no team has cooled off. Liz Massakayan and Carolyn Kirby, they've rolled along 11 straight victories in tournament action, and 2 straight this year, though they got all they wanted last week in Fort Lauderdale from Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet.
They certainly did all they wanted and more. Castro and Roquet leading 13-9 at one point in that final match last week. And I think what this has done for the top teams is it's proven to them, hey, Kirby and Massakayan can break down. Perhaps they actually are beatable.
Interestingly enough, the last time they broke down was right here in Austin, Texas. They finished third. They lost to Janice Hare and Deb Richardson that day. The team that came out on top, their first victory ever, Lori Kotis Forsyth and Barbara Fontana. Now, how are they playing this weekend?
They're playing very well this weekend. They've struggled so far this year, however. Lori broke her hand about 6 weeks ago. That's obviously affected their play, really affected their setting, which is frustrating for Barbara. She's not getting the sets that she's wanted up until this point, but I feel like they're really back on their game this week.
A number of young teams are on their game. An upset this weekend occurred yesterday. Bev Lidioff and Marie Anderson knocked off Marla O'Hara and Wendy Fletcher. Will we see more of that kind of thing?
Absolutely. I think this is an indication of things to come. We've got a lot of strong rookie teams, over 20 new players on the tour. Kenglin Gardner, Christine Schaefer are a team that are doing wonderful things, as well as Blomquist and Wright. They could also cause some more upsets this year.
We're set for stop number 3, Austin, Texas. No sun, but we'll have volleyball semifinal action right after this. Prime Network's presentation of the Coors Light Pro Beach Volleyball Tour is brought to you by Reebok and by Coors Light. When you want a taste that goes the distance, reach for the silver bullet. Coors Light, keep on moving.
It moving. Keep on moving. The silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
I was a tomboy. My brothers called me Jimmy. They used me to practice tackling. They think they taught me everything about sports. Well, now I play soccer all over the world. And I just want to say, pay attention, boys.
When you come out to play
and a thirst comes on,
pull out the stops.
Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
To quench your deep down body thirst.
To quench it to the core.
Absorbed faster than water.
The optimal formula.
To quench it now.
Refresh your body.
Nothing works harder.
Faster.
Better.
Scientifically tested.
Athletically proven.
To kick your thirst.
Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
For that deep down body thirst.
To play.
welcome back to Austin, Texas, and the Reebok Austin Open from Zilker Park. Along with Maria Barnes, I'm Drew Goodman. We are ahead to the semifinals. The top seed on the beach, Carolyn Kirby and Liz Massakayan, and they have rolled along at least until they met Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert-Knoop, and they were able to score 10 points off of the top seed, but they are set to take on Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet, who also moved along pretty well until they met Barbara Fontana and Lori Cotis Forsythe. Now, these two teams will match up all summer long for, it appears to be the second seed on the beach. 14-4, Liz Massakayan, Carolyn Kirby in control. Final words of encouragement and instruction from Mary Jo Pepler, who is one of the most knowledgeable coaches in the sport of volleyball. And you kind of wonder, what could she possibly say to these two right now?
Probably something like play ball.
Yeah, that's about all. Or dust off your hands, as this young gentleman is doing. Kirby and Massakayan, 14-4. Liz Massakayan will go to the back line. Game point under overcast skies. Castro goes up over the top of the defense to earn the side out.
Smart play by Castro, seeing the defense kind of stuck in no man's land.
The Big E, Elaine Roquet, will serve with her patented floater. Over on two goes Massakayan. It's long, so a point for Roquet and Castro. 14-5 now. Massakayan goes up with the left hand there. Here comes Liz again, and that too is wide. So a couple of errors by Liz Massakayan, a couple of quick points for Elaine Roquet and Gail Castro. When we get a side change, they trail 14-6. You know, one of the people who has the best perspective on things, kind of looking from above, our public address here, Denny Lennon. Here's Denny now.
The way I see it, there's two things going on here. First, it's cold, really cold. Second, great young teams are coming up on the tour, like Bloomquist and Wright, Anderson and Midioff. The competition this year is better than ever. Did I mention that it's cold? Anyway, the fans here are great. They're knowledgeable, appreciative, and they're cold. You know, this is a great sight. Things are going to heat up.
Hey, Drew, did I mention that it's cold here?
You didn't have to mention that it was cold. I'm wondering when it's going to heat up. The funny thing is, we were here last year. It's kind of the antithesis of this day. It was about 95 degrees with 200% humidity.
What you'd expect in Austin, Texas at this time of year.
That's right. I didn't dress for Rocky Mountain weather. Chance to score. Castro. Great dig that time. Kirby. On the line. Great little pokey from Elaine Roquet. 14-7 now.
Castro and Roquet coming alive here at the end. You'll notice both teams are touching a lot more balls on defense. I think part of that is attributable to the hard-packed surface that we have here.
And part of it attributable to the cold. They want to keep moving.
That could have something to do with it.
Quick side out. Carolyn Kirby with the winner.
Carolyn getting on top of that session of serve for the game. 14-7.
One of the things that keeps Kirby going, I know, not only self-motivation, but she has such a strong family behind her. Most of them still in the Boston area. Down the line for the side out, Gail Castro.
I was chatting with Elaine Roquet this week and asking her, you know, Elaine, when do you see yourself retiring? She is 34 years old now, and she said she actually had thought about it next year, but now with the Olympics in '96, she'll postpone that because she says her partner Castro really wants to go. It's very important to her, and the only way they're going to make it is, you know, as a team. So they've kind of recommitted themselves to that goal.
Nice touch shot by Liz Massakayan for the side out. Yeah, there's no question. Gail Castro has been rejuvenated with the opportunity to partake in an Olympic Games.
I think a lot of the top players are. I mean, if they've never had a chance to go to the Olympics, maybe they weren't a spectacular indoor player, this is a chance for them.
And there it is, Liz Masakayan and Carolyn Kirby ahead to the finals yet again. 15-7, the final score over Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet. So they're able to defeat them easier than they did last week in Fort Lauderdale when they won 15-13 and had to come from 13-9 down to win in the finals in Fort Lauderdale. Here's match point one more time. Elaine Roquet a little bit short with the kill, and the victory goes to Carolyn Kirby and Liz Masakayan. They have been so dominant. The last time they lost, July 4th of last year in Boston, Massachusetts. They've just been churning along. And you get them on this hard sand. They're so athletic, it becomes that much more difficult to win. Maria Barnes has made her way courtside. Here's Maria.
Carolyn and Liz, a commanding victory here. Trying to send a message to Castro and Roquet?
Well, we struggled with them last weekend, and I think we did need to have that game. I really did.
You seem like you were touching a lot more balls. The hard packed surface helping?
Yes, and I think we realized what kind of shots that they like to do. They like to chip it around the block short, so we are a little bit more ready. It's still hard to get those balls, but at least we have a little one step going for it this time.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you both. Back to you, Drew.
All right, Maria, thanks very much. Coming up, semifinal match number 2 from Austin, Texas, the capital of the Lone Star State.
No one can beat you. You're Julio Cesar Chavez. You've never lost a fight. Ever. But you lose to Frankie Randall. You won't forget that. Not you. You're Julio Cesar Chavez. Revenge. Randall versus Chavez. One of 4 championship rematches. Saturday, May 7th. Live on pay-per-view.
TCI Cablevision of Houston recently co-sponsored the American Heart Association's Student Leadership Conference at UT Medical School. In an effort to raise public awareness of heart disease, the Heart Association had students from 3 area high schools present workshops to 12 other area schools. Activities included CPR and peer training, blood pressure checks, and a skit by Forest Brook High School on the dangers of tobacco use. TCI salutes the American Heart Association and all conference sponsors involved in educating our youth about the prevention of heart disease.
It takes more than just power. You gotta have nerve, drive, finesse. You gotta have the touch. The Citizen Cup Final, Saturday night at 8 on HSE.
A brisk, cool day in Austin, Texas. We're gathered for the Reebok Austin Open. Third stop on the WPVA Tour. Zilker Park, the site. Second semifinal. Barbara Fontana, Lori Cotis Forsyth. And they have cruised along throughout the weekend. The big win over Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet, 15-7. They match up with Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert-Knoop in the final. And the only hiccup for those two, a loss to Kirby and Masakayan by the score of 15-10. We pick it up with a score 13-6. Schubert-Knoop and Richardson in control. And Deb Richardson at the back line, native of Minnesota, and she went to school in Anchorage, Alaska. So she's been a cold weather volleyball player.
She feels right at home today.
That's right. Fontana with the little dink shot. Kind of an abbreviated cut shot, if you will, and Denny Schubert-Knoop couldn't dig it.
I'm very impressed with the way that Schubert-Knoop and Richardson are playing, given how little they've practiced together. She's down.
Here's a set, great defensive play. Good dig that time by Fontana, smokes it down the middle.
There's an example of the athleticism of Barbara Fontana. She goes into the sand deep in the court to dig a ball and then is able to get back up to the net and hit with some authority. Quite impressive.
You know, that's a part of the game as we get a side change that I think is often overlooked. You'll see a great defensive play, and you forget that that player has to then quickly rise and become an offensive offensive player? Well, over the years, the WPVA Tour has recognized the person who's the best sport. And the last few years, it's always been the same person. No surprise if you take a poll among the athletes. It's either Elaine Roquet or Denny Schubert-Knoop.
Both players always have smiles on their faces, which is a wonderful quality, and they both just have wonderful, bubbly, easygoing personalities. Make them a lot of fun to watch.
They really do. 13-7, the score. Richardson and Schubert-Knoop leading. Here we go. And after the side change, Barbara Fontana with that jump serve. She's one of the more effective servers on the beach, always among the ace leaders.
Come on, here. Right there. Line, look at
Fontana scores, hitting the angle.
She's also one of the smarter players on the beach. I'm always impressed with Barbara's court sense and her knowledge of where the defense is. And she's just a very, very smart hitter and just a tremendous teammate. She's very good at helping her partner elevate her game also.
Come on, Barnes, you'd expect that. She went to Stanford, law review at Santa Clara. Down the line for the side out.
She also got engaged recently to a gentleman named Charlie Harris, who's a 1992 Olympic water polo team member.
Looks like a water polo player, big upper body.
They'll have some athletic children.
Yes, you would expect that. Or assume that. Schubert-Knoop to serve.
Cross.
Chance to score. And there's the point, 14 now.
That's a big play for Denny. We were just talking about how difficult it is to go into the sand and then make that 60-foot sprint back up to the net to hit. And not only that, but put the ball away, as we just saw Denny do.
14-8, a reminder, coming up in a couple of weeks, we will be down in New Orleans for the Coors Light Pro Beach Volleyball Tour stop in New Orleans, just off of Bourbon Street. We'll have to visit the French Quarter, naturally. May 17th, check your local listings for that time. 14-8 here. Denny Schubert-Knoop and Deb Richardson leading. You got to keep moving to the music this day, otherwise you will not keep warm.
I'm amazed at the number of people that have stuck around through this weather.
I'm amazed we haven't seen rain yet because it has been overcast throughout the day and some dark clouds have billowed above, but no precipitation yet. Hopefully we'll keep it away and get our final in. There's Deb Richardson. Last year you could really see her come on the final few events of the year, and she might be as tough a competitor as there is on the beach.
Not only that, but she's big, she's tall, and she is a force at the net. And with her competitive spirit, it makes her quite a dynamic player.
Here's game point.
Line. Come on.
Set for Fontana, an opportunity. There it is. Deb Richardson, Denny Schubert-Knoop heading to the final. And it'll be the first final ever for Schubert-Knoop and just a second for Deb Richardson. They were marvelous there. They beat a very good team and a team that had been rolling along. You see Maria Barnes has already made her way down. Let's check out game point one more time. Watch the defensive play coming out. Denny Schubert-Knoop puts up the block, but a great play by Schubert-Knoop. Actually, Richardson had put up the block, and there is the hit for the winner. And Schubert-Knoop is absolutely ecstatic. She and Deb are with Maria.
A commanding victory. What was the difference for you guys this week?
I think Danny and I got to practice. That's been the difference this week. We kind of jumped into Florida without any practice, and it just shows we have a lot of chemistry, and it works really well for us.
Denny, this is your first final. Excited?
Very excited. Thank you very much.
What do you need to do? What's your strategy?
Our strategy right now is to rest, right? We're going to rest, and we're not going to disclose it, you camera fans. We're going to play Liz and Carolyn once again. We had a really good game this morning, and I think the more we play them, the more we're going to figure out their tendencies. So.
Good Good luck.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Drew, back to you.
All right, Maria, she's bubbling over. Time now for the Gatorade Play of the Semis. The Play of the Semis is brought to you by Gatorade, the thirst quencher for that deep down body thirst. And another look at Denny Schubert-Knoop up top with the winner. That is our Gatorade Play of the Semis. A little bit later on, the third place match took place between Barbara Fontana and Lori Cotis Forsyth and Elaine Roquet and Gail Castro. 14-13, Castro and Roquet leading. This has been a terrific match, and again, these two teams will go at one another all summer long, right to go to the Goodwill Games, Maria, and of course implications to Atlanta a little bit later on.
I'd say these two teams are at war. It's a standoff to get to these kind of off-season matches like the World Championship that we see listed here, where Kirby and Massakayan completely dominated across the world.
Though Fontana and Cotis Forsyth in Miami were able to defeat Kirby and Massakayan. But after the 3 rounds of the World Series, it was Liz and Carolyn on top.
These two teams really match up well. They've played each other many times. Both teams having the big, strong blocker and the quick defensive players.
14 all. Barbara Fontana focusing in, and Elaine Roquet. And if you're at home and you're wondering when you see Elaine Roquet and all the players who don't use the jump serve, if it's an easier serve to handle, as you see the side out, not necessarily. The floater can be very difficult. It can knuckle in the air, kind of dance as you try to receive it and pass it.
That's true. Elaine Roquet, one of the players that stays on the ground, it doesn't use the jump serve. I was talking with her coach, Daly Aldridge, earlier today about her serve, and she says, you know what, I've advised Elaine to drop the float serve right now, to go to the top spin serve, because the most important thing for Elaine to do with her serve at this point is to go deep with her serve.
Cotis at the net picks up the 15th point. 15-14 now. Lori Cotis on the miss set, able to take advantage.
Can't give Lori Cotis a set like that, 50-50.
No way. 15-14. Just a few moments ago, it was 14-11. That team led, and Elaine Roquet and Gail Castro had a couple of opportunities to take the match. Now they find themselves trailing.
Both teams taking instruction from their coaches. The rain is starting to come down at this point. That makes the ball a lot heavier. Now this new brine ball that we are using is a heavier ball, so that coupled with the fact that the ball is getting wet will slow the game down a bit.
Elaine Roquet and Gail Castro have been able to defeat Barbara Fontana and Lori Cotis Forsyth this year. They finished second in the first 2 events, one in Puerto Rico and last weekend in Fort Lauderdale. And I don't think that is a win on the minds right now of Fontana and Cotis Forsyth.
You know, this is kind of the way things started out last year, where Castro and Roquet were finding themselves coming out on top a lot at the beginning of the season, and then the tables kind of turned, and we saw Forsyth and Fontana dominating at the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see how things turn out this year.
One of the things that the competition, the close competition, has done is prevent closeness this year between these two teams. Castro for the side out. Fontana nearly had it up in the air long enough to give Lori Cotis a chance to keep the ball in the air.
One thing that has really impacted the play of Forsyth-Fontana is obviously Lori's broken hand, and the one way that it's negatively impacted it is that they haven't been able to train as a team. I mean, Lori was basically off for 4 weeks with that healing, and so they weren't able to train together.
Gail Castro. Good pass. Curtis Forsyth. Dink shot. Drops in. Another game point opportunity.
Lori has a tremendous array of shots. She has a really good cut shot and short shot.
And she'll shoot the ball on 2. perhaps better than anybody on the beach. She's very crafty.
She and Fontana are the sneakiest team on the beach.
Yeah, there's no question about that. 15-14, another game point. This is for third place. Roque sets for Castro. And that'll get down in the sand.
Gail Castro doing a good job of reading Codis there. They should know how each other plays, given that they did play together for years. The longest partnership in WPVA history.
Yeah, more than 60 matches together, almost 70 matches together. Forsythe saw the defense. It's almost imperceptible to see the hitter take a peek at the defense, but the really strong players are very cognizant, very aware of where the defenders are.
Very difficult skill to perfect.
Roque down the middle. And that was a good job by the team of Castro and Roque, because their ball control was a little bit off initially, but they were still able to get a good swing at the set by Elaine Roque. Gail Castro again. Another good shot by Lori Codis Forsythe.
Barbara Fontana does a good job of setting Lori on that play. You can see that set's just 50-50.
You can see the sand starting to stick more to the players. This wet sand, what does it do?
It gets very thick and sludgy at this point, making it more difficult to move in because it kind of gets clumpy.
Match point, tough serve, goes out. And there it is, third place to Barbara Fontana and Lori Codis Forsythe.
Very important mental match for Forsythe Fontana. This is the first time they have beat Castro and Roque thus far this year.
I'll say so. Most important match. And what a serve here by Lori Codis Forsythe. Castro did all she could just to get the ball up, but she couldn't pass it. Actually went over the net and out of bounds.
Great trajectory on that serve. You can see as soon as it goes over the net, it drops straight down into the sand. I think both of these teams are very equal on skill level. The difference here, it seemed like to me, is that Forsythe Fontana really wanted to win this one.
They came from 14-11 down to do it, 16-14. Fontana, Codis Forsythe win it. Our championship match up next from Austin.
Get it moving. And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Keep on moving. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
The BBC, Turner Broadcasting, and Time Life Video dare you to take a walk on the wild side with Trials of Life. The gripping, award-winning nature video series that exposes the struggle to survive through uncensored, shocking photography. Join acclaimed naturalist David Attenborough for a close encounter with raw nature. See the thrill of the hunt and the strategy of the kill, the relentless drive to continue the bloodline, and the miracle of birth. Call now and receive Hunting and Escaping for $9.99 and see why the law of the jungle is kill or be killed. If it captures your interest, you can get other videos about every other month. Each tape explores the harsh realities of survival in the animal world. Take a walk on the wild side with Trials of Life. Call now to order Hunting and Escaping and find out why we call them animals.
To order your Trials of Life, call 1-800-522-5333 or send $9.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to the address shown on your screen.
And Welcome back to Zilker Park in Austin, Texas. We're set for our final. Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert-Knoop against the team of Liz Masakayan and Carolyn Kirby. Back with Maria Barnes. I'm Drew Goodman. I'd like to tell you the weather's changed. It has not. Starting to rain a little bit. Denny Schubert-Knoop, I can't believe this. Her first ever final?
I know, it's surprising. She's been one of the most dominant players on the tour for the last 3 years. It is surprising this is her first final. She's such an athletic player. Amazing. She had a baby 10 weeks ago. Look at her.
Yeah, that is truly remarkable. Liz Masakayan and Carolyn Kirby, have you seen any hiccup in their game?
Liz is a little under the weather, so my strategy would be go at Masakayan.
Pardon the pun.
Yes.
We are set for our finals. Let's get player introductions. Here's Denny Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zilker Park for the finals of the Reebok Austin Open. All right, volleyball fans, it's time to meet the players. First, let's welcome 5'11" out of Topanga, California, appearing in her first ever final, Denny Knoop. Now let's welcome her partner, checking in at 6'1" out of Santa Barbara, California. Runner-up at the 1991 World Championships, Deb Richardson. Standing 5'11" out of San Diego, California, a three-time most valuable player, Carolyn Kirby. And finally checking in at 5'8", also out of San Diego, California, let's welcome a two-time Defensive Player of the Year, Liz Masakayan. All right, folks, we got a title on the line, a game to 15. Bob Oshida, Kim Stone calling lines. Down low.
So we are set. Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert-Knoop against Masakayan and Kirby, and Liz Masakayan to serve. 11 straight titles for the team of Masakayan and Kirby. Deb Richardson started the year playing with Gail Stammer and picked up with Denny Schubert-Knoop after Puerto Rico. Quick side out.
In fact, Deb trained with Gail Stammer all through the off season, and had planned on playing most of the season with her, but after they got a 7th in Puerto Rico, they decided to go their separate ways.
There's the block, and Schubert-Knoop cannot elevate it, so it'll work as a side out, and we'll see Liz Masakayan's partner, Carolyn Kirby, at the back line. Kirby and Masakayan, one of the reasons they are the most formidable pair on the beach is both are very athletic, both serve so effectively. And there's their first point of the match, a service winner.
If there's one thing that Richardson and Knoop need to really concentrate on, it's their passing. Very important for them to have good ball control if they want to come out on top here.
Amazing. They've lost 5 matches since they joined together. There's the side out. Schubert-Knoop, if there's one lady on the beach that you would think would be able to recover from giving birth in 10 weeks and be back in marvelous shape, it is Schubert-Knoop. At 38, she is the matriarch of the tour, but always in marvelous physical condition. Kirby goes up, hits the high line for the side out. You will hear both players, teammates, call out shot selection for each of their partners.
Very important part of the communication between players, because you don't often get a chance to look at the other side of the court and see what is the open shot. So your partner needs to communicate to you as to where you should hit the ball. Masakayan a little long with that serve. Didn't look like Liz got enough topspin follow through on the top of her serve. Liz has a little bit of a cold. She's kind of congested, a little under the weather today.
Deb Richardson jump serves also. She is one of the more effective servers on the beach.
That was a nice set by Masakayan. That's one aspect of her game that she has really developed.
Kirby and Masakayan traditionally among the ace leaders on the beach. Good pass that time by Schubert Knoop. She gets a good set. Over on 2 by Masakayan. Big hit by Knoop. Knoop and Richardson both have the ability to swing well around the net.
They're both very strong players. They both have really developed their shot selection and their different hits, and their strength enables both of them. They really hit the ball hard. Very difficult to defend.
Here is Schubert Knoop, her daughter Brooke, 10 weeks old. She actually went to Puerto Rico, but did not participate. Her first event was last week in Fort Lauderdale, and really, truly is amazing how quickly she has been able to recover and get to the top of her game again.
What's amazing is that she had a C-section, so she was actually out for 4 weeks after that, actually almost 6 weeks. So she's really only been training for 4 weeks, and she and Deb have only practiced twice together.
1-2-0.
There's the big serve by Masakayan to make it 2-0. Liz Masakayan and Carolyn Kirby off to a quick start.
Tremendous cross-court serve by Liz Masakayan. You could see the ball drop very quickly after going over the net.
Masakayan and Kirby leading. We step aside from Zilker Park in Austin, Texas. You're watching Pro Beach Volleyball on Prime Network.
Baseball. You love the game. You know the players. You know the teams. But do you really know baseball? What really is the pitcher's job? What is a hitter trying to do? And what does a manager really do besides eat sunflower seed and spit? My new book, Essential Baseball, provides an in-depth study from the very best down to the very least offensive players in the game. We rate and rank all the pitchers, all the hitters. Our ratings provide a gold mine of fantasy baseball information. Essential Baseball even provides insight into the real prospects and farm systems, the strategy and lineup construction. Who are the best managers? This is nearly 400 pages of terrific information. Essential reading for every baseball fan. Here's how to order.
To order by phone, call 1-800-592-1222 and ask for item number 604. The book is just $12.95, so call now.
It's not easy being a ranger. Every day, new challenges. You're always a target. But you never stop giving it your best. You never stop proving yourself.
More American League muscle. The Twins strut into Texas with power from the plate and solid defense in the field, while the Rangers are ready to defend the ballpark at all costs. The Twins battle the Rangers. Series begins Friday at 7:30 on HSE.
We're in Austin, Texas, the 4th time that the Pro Beach Tour has come to Austin. We're at Zilker Park, and Carolyn Kirby has always performed very well here, and this year with 72 points each, they lead the Chevy Pro Challenge, followed up by Elaine Roquet and Gail Castro. We asked Elaine if she were to win a new Chevy, what kind of car it'd be.
Now that my driving record's all cleared up, that last speeding ticket went off last weekend, I think I want the Z28. Red is a wonderful color, but I think the policeman will be looking for red, so I might go with that nice green. And it's got that Corvette engine, so I can race anybody on the highway late at night and be sure I can beat them. And I'm going to have that car out and have a lot of fun with it.
Thank you, Mario Roque.
So we are set 2-0. Masakayan and Kirby leading. Masakayan with the jump serve. Block back down. Carolyn Kirby up top. One of the areas of the game she does not get a lot of credit for, but she's very strong at the net.
She is, because she's such an experienced player and a very smart player, and that's what it takes to be a good blocker. You've got to learn to read the different hitters and understand their hitting patterns.
High line, easy high line. Yeah,
Easy high line it was, and they earned the side out. These two teams met earlier, and Denny Schubert Knoop and Deb Richardson lost 15-11. They put up a very good game against Liz Masakayan and Carolyn Kirby. The difference was 3 aces by Masakayan and Kirby late. Great back set. Liz Massakayan, one of the outstanding hitters ever on the beach.
Yeah, I was talking to Richardson and Knoop about that loss earlier, and I was saying to them, you know, the difference was you guys came out strong, but you weren't able to hold it. There are some blocking signals Liz is giving her partner there. And she said, yeah, that's right, but you know what? That's why Kirby and Massakayan win every week, because they always hold it. They're such a patient team.
Deb Richardson powers through the block. Deb is 6'1". She's in her 6th year on the beach. She attended the University of Alaska Anchorage. You say, what? How can a volleyball player go to the University of Alaska? She has really improved her game since her collegiate days quite a bit. And at 6'1", she's extremely athletic. Puts up the block, but Massakayan rips it through.
Deb Richardson needs to come up with some big blocks for her team in order for them to win here. She's one of the more dominant blockers on the tour.
This is off the net, and again, a chance to score. Great set. Massakayan puts it down 4-0. It's that simple, and you rarely get a poor set if you're Liz Massakayan, because Carolyn Kirby is the premier setter on the beach.
Yes, she is. She was voted best setter last year and also in 1991. Liz Massakayan with a great line hit here. That's one way that Liz has developed her game. She used to be such an angle hitter. You know, her years at UCLA, I can remember our coach would, you know, prep us to play against her, and he would just say, camp on the angle, because Liz is going to hit it there. But, you know, even if I was there ready to dig it, I never did, because she hits the ball so hard.
With such great velocity. The sand here is kind of thin. It's an inland sand. It was laid down here, which is different from a beach sand. Can you tell us about that?
Well, we've got 1.5 feet of sand here. These courts were laid about a week ago, and it's kind of a chalky sand. It's a very light sand, but given the fact that we've had the rain that we've had, it's kind of made it a little bit heavier. Tough to move in this sand after a rain because it kind of gets a little sludgy.
We're talking about Liz Massakayan and her ability to swing. We're going to watch again. She gets tremendous height off
The amazing thing about this hit, however, is that she hit it with her left hand. I didn't notice that the first time that we watched it. That's another part of her game that she's been working on. Amazing that she could hit the ball that hard with her left hand.
There's the block, 5-0. And we'll get a side change. Carolyn Kirby already with 2 blocks for points here in the first few minutes of this game.
And like you said, I mean, that's a part of the game that she doesn't get a whole lot of credit for. And you know, she is such a dominating setter. She's a tremendous defensive player. She's, you know, never really worked on that part of her game. So for her to block 2 balls at the beginning of the game shows that she's really on.
Carolyn Kirby and Liz Massakayan playing as if they have a plane to catch. They lead 5-0. We'll be back on Prime Network.
You have car insurance, right? Well, your engine is the most expensive part of your car. So, have you insured your engine? Right. Engine insurance, also known as T+ engine treatment with DuPont Teflon. Add T+ and tough DuPont Teflon goes to work, relentlessly fighting heat, friction, and wear, protecting your engine for up to 50,000 miles. T+ engine treatment. The T is for Teflon. Tough, tenacious,
I've never run such rough roads, long duration.
I'm not crazy.
There's a lot of different places to put your feet and hands. If you can't make a long reach, you can find something else, and you can express yourself any way you want.
I'm not crazy. I am Prime. And I play the world.
Pitch, hit, and run. It's Major League Baseball's official skills competition for kids 9 through 13. Local winners show off their skills at a Major League ballpark and compete for a chance to go to the Pitch Hit and Run National Championships in Dallas. Champ Sports has entry forms at all area locations. Show us your skills on May 7th and 8th at Home Run Country Club. For more information, call the Pitch Hit and Run hotline at 713-467-6379.
There were a number of winners at last year's GTE Byron Nelson Classic.
only one was a professional golfer. Because proceeds from the GTE Byron Nelson Classic benefit children who are deserving of a second chance. The GTE Byron Nelson Classic, helping kids put their lives back on the right course.
We're back in Austin, Texas for the Reebok Open. Along with Maria Barnes, I'm Drew Goodman. One of the up-and-comers on the tour, Wendy Fletcher, is also a teacher. Maria had a chance to catch up with Wendy on the beach.
Who is Wendy Fletcher? How would you describe yourself to someone else?
I think someone who's very carefree, likes to have a good time, and at the same time is very committed to what I'm doing.
What do you do when you're not out playing ball? I know I see you around town sometimes.
Right.
On your bike or your skates.
I do have another career. I am an elementary teacher. I teach bilingual elementary education, so that keeps me pretty busy. And then I really enjoy going on vacations and spending time with my friends at the beach.
Yeah. What would you say that your strength is as a player?
I would have to say that just from playing indoors and being a power hitter, probably my offense is the strength. But playing on the beach has developed an all-around game.
How much longer do you think you'll play?
I don't see myself being out here for a long time. I want to play and I want to reach my goals, and I think when I'm ready to settle down and start a family, it's time for me to move on. The sport has brought me a lot of great things, and however, I'm wanting some other things in my life as well.
She sounds so quiet in this interview. Wendy Fletcher is not a quiet woman at all.
I was going to say, Wendy and Marlo O'Hara, those two paired together. Fitting that they're paired together. The serve is in, an ace for Liz Massakayan. They are two of the more energetic pair on the beach. 6-0 now. Massakayan and Kirby on a run.
A little luck falling in the direction of Liz Massakayan as she tastes with this serve. This is the second time that she has beat Denny short there. I think Denny needs to take a step up at this point.
46 consecutive matches in a row for Massakayan and Kirby.
She's lying.
Last time they lost was in Boston last year. Side out. What does Schubert Knoop and Deb Richardson have to do to get back in this?
Well, they're focusing on Denny right now with their serving, and so what I think Deb needs to move over and help her out a little bit, slide over, allow Denny to perhaps take a step up, kind of help her out on defense, because they really need to pass right now. They're not passing well at all at this point.
Set for Massakayan, and she picks the right spot. We've talked about this more and more. Liz Massakayan has given her shoulder a break. She's such a powerful hitter, but she now picks her spots to take the full swing.
I don't even think it's so much that she's giving her shoulder a break as she's realized in order to be the best beach player, you have to have shots. You can't always go up and hit the ball. And I think when you first come out on the beach from indoors, that's what you do. You hit. But, Carolyn Kirby being such a mature player on the beach, she's kind of taught this to Liz, and their coach, Mary Jo Pepler, has also helped out quite a bit. And so Liz has really worked on her shots and her deep line hits and the other aspects of her game.
Over on two, smart playing again. Showing her ambidexterity is Liz Massakayan.
Amazing. I mean, she told me that she was working on her left-handed hit, but I didn't think she'd pick it up this quickly. I mean, she really has a lot of control with her left hand.
All right, here we go, ladies.
Liz Massakayan, a member of the 1988 Olympic team in Seoul, South Korea. She calls it a bitter and disappointing experience. That'll drop down to the side out. The reason being the United States finished in 7th position, but she and Carolyn Kirby can look ahead to Atlanta in 96. Again, beach volleyball will be an Olympic medal sport in 96, and this tandem will be there. Massakayan. Another side out. It is 6-0. Liz and Carolyn leading Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert Knoop.
You know, Carolyn is really excited about the Olympics coming up. She has not been to an Olympics like her partner Liz has, and so she's really pumped up and planning for it already.
She was captain of the U.S. national team for a while and then had a falling out with the coach and decided to move to the beach, and that is why she has never partook in an Olympic Games. Denny Schubert-Knoop enjoying her final.
She's really got to be excited to be in this final, especially that, I mean, like we said, having a baby only 10 weeks ago.
That's short. Do you think Schubert-Knoop and Richardson are loose being in this final? You would think they feel some pressure, but if anything, they're the underdog, and you wouldn't expect them to put an undue amount of pressure on themselves.
That's true. I mean, all the pressure to win tournaments is on Kirby and Masakine at this point. The expectations are for them to win. And so I think that especially for a team like Richardson-Knoop, who probably didn't expect to be in the finals, there is no pressure. They just come out and play as hard as they can and hope that they can, you know, give them a good game.
Here's a back set, and the first point for Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert-Knoop. And Deb Richardson is as intense as anybody you'll see on the beach. You rarely see her smile, but that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think Denny kind of relaxes her. They have a really good chemistry and a good partnership. Again, I said the strategy, stay on Masakine. She's not feeling that well. If either she or Kirby's going to make a mistake, it's going to be Masakine.
And they go to Masakine in the shank pass. So it's now 6-2.
Nice tough serve by Deb Richardson. The other thing that Deb and Denny need to do is keep the ball deep against Kirby and Masakine. If there's a ball that they have trouble with, it's usually a deep serve.
Here we go, ladies. Rare that you'd see an unforced error. Deb Richardson obviously is a southpaw left-hander. What does that do when you're receiving her serve?
You adjust. These two players are experienced enough that they're going to adjust to that quite quickly. Probably not much of a factor in Kirby and Masakine.
Well, Masakine took some of her anger out at that set, and they have a side out. 6-2, Carolyn Kirby at the end line. Such a gifted athlete, originally from Brookline, Massachusetts. Terrific basketball player and softball player in high school. Really didn't start playing volleyball until her freshman year in high school. Pokey, it's run down. Masakine with the great dig. Here comes Liz.
Danny, line easy. No.
Schubert-Knoop, and it's wide. So it's 7-2. Best point thus far of the match. Both teams had opportunities.
I think what this hard-packed surface does is it enables both teams to really scramble on defense. These two are scrambling a bit too much, really knocking each other down. That's one of the things that will happen between teams when they're not used to playing together. The communication can get a little off.
20-second sand.
Sand timeout, 22nd timeout, 7-2. Liz Masakine, Carolyn Kirby leading Denny Schubert-Knoop and Deb Richardson. The finals from Austin, Texas, the Reebok Open. We'll be back on Prime.
When was the last time a banker sat down eye to eye with you and said,
Charlie, I didn't realize you were planning on that, but how can the bank help you with that?
or,
Hi, Jimmy. How was dinner?
Dinner was great. By the way, how was our service the last time you were in the bank?
or,
Have you started a savings account for college?
our ongoing customer contact program keeps our officers, our customers, and our potential customers on a first-name basis and makes sure we're doing everything we can to meet the banking needs of Galveston Island. Bank of Galveston is locally owned and operated for the good of the island, and as much as we want your business, we always want to be a resource you can count on. So when you hear these welcome words,
How could we help you do that?
Have you started saving for college yet?
How's our service?
you'll know it's Bank of Galveston checking in to see how things are going and whether we can be of help. Bank of Galveston, with 2 convenient locations to serve you.
Stay in the winner's circle with Prime Racing. Turn the key and crank it up with Motorsports Hour by Chevrolet for the latest on all the top racing action. Thursdays at 9 on HSE.
Texas, the 100th event ever on the WPVA Tour in their 8th year with Maria Barnes. I'm Drew Goodman. Carolyn Kirby to serve, along with Liz Massakayan. They lead 7-2 over Richardson and Shoot Canute. Block goes wide. But what does that do to your confidence when you go up and hit? Even though the block was out and it's a side out, do you think about it next time you go up to swing?
I think every player out there would think about the block, absolutely, especially, you know, that could very easily have landed in.
That's short. That's the second service error in a row for Denny Schubert-Knoop, and that wasn't close. One of the things you wonder about is fatigue in the legs because, again, not to harp on a point, but 2.5 months ago, she was in labor.
High line cross.
And the adjustment with the angle hit works for a side out for Denny Schubert-Knoop.
Good communication between she and her partner.
You talk about adversity. She lives in Topanga Canyon. I know you know the Los Angeles area well. I know it well, but if you don't, she's had to deal with 3 natural disasters. The earthquake was within 15 miles, the epicenter. Pick up that thought in a moment. Kirby with the dunk.
I'll tell you, one change I've really seen in Carolyn Kirby's game is she is hitting the ball so much harder this year. And the reason for that is Carolyn had taken a couple years off from weight training because she had just burned out on it. And she's back hitting the weights, and I can tell the difference. She's hitting the ball a lot harder.
Richardson with the emphatic hit of her own. Then you have to continue that thought about Denny Schubert-Knoop. The epicenter 15 miles from her house. The fires last year came within 200 yards of her and her husband Steve's home. And then the mudslides came. She said, despite all of that, we're going to stay in Southern California. But they did think at least a couple of times about moving. Massakayan goes up. Strong hit there. So we battle with side out, 7-2. Kirby and Massakayan leading. Trying to win their 47th consecutive match and their 12th consecutive tournament title. They won 12 of 13 titles last year. Again, the only glitch, the only hiccup was right here in Austin, Texas.
Nobody!
Schubert-Knoop, and it's long. So it's 8-2. We get a side change.
It's an arrow you will see with less experienced players. Actually surprised to see it from Denny. She's been playing on the beach for years. You get so excited when you see no block up with a perfect set right on the net like that and get kind of overzealous.
Carolyn Kirby has won here on several occasions in the past. Right now, along with her partner Liz Massakayan, they lead 8-2. The finals from Austin.
They'll call you a tomboy. Talk about what you wear. Tell you it can't be done. Who are you going to believe?
Get it moving.
Keep on moving. Oh, yeah. Come on. Sing it, sing it. Yeah.
And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Get into horse racing Texas style at Sam Houston Race Park, the only place where fun and excitement run neck and neck. The thoroughbreds are off and running at Texas's first Class 1 facility, so check your post times to join the action. For more information on racing schedules, premium seating and dining, call 713-807-8700. Doors open 2 hours before post times, so don't be the last one out of the starting gate. Come out to Sam Houston Race Park, where playing the horses is as big as Texas.
Bronze coverage of the WPVA continues from Austin, Texas. Two of the best serve artists on the beach are Barbara Fontana and Gail Castro, and today they've kindly agreed to share their secrets on the jump serve. It's how we play the game, brought to you by Reebok.
Hi, I'm Barbara Fontana. Today, Gail Castro and I are going to teach you how to do a hot jump serve. Gail, you've got a pretty fantastic jump serve.
Thanks, Barb. You're not so bad yourself.
Well, thanks, Gail. What's the first thing you want to do when you do the jump serve?
You need to start in a perfect position, which is about 2 steps behind the line, with your weight on your left foot, and if you like, 1 foot in front of the other.
I could have told you that. After you find your position, what else do you concentrate on, Gail?
Well, the next thing I would do is I would take the ball and I would hold it in my right hand and I would choose the placement of the valve. I want the valve to be on either side so that when I toss the ball, I don't hit it with my hand. It hurts.
I could have told you that.
You need to look at your partner, find out the blocking signal she's giving you, whether you're going to run up and block, whether she's going to block, whether you're going to go play defense. And the next important thing is the toss. It needs to be a spin because it obviously is windy in some locations, and if you just toss up a ball that floats, it can move out of your target range. So you want a high toss at least above your head because you're going to be jumping. You want the toss to go up on to the line or in front of the line so that you don't foot fault when you serve.
I could have told you that.
It's like doing a spike in the air, only you're doing it behind the line. You want to contact the ball so that you get your wrist to snap over the top of the ball, get a lot of spin. That causes the wind to take the ball and make it drop. You either want to make it drop in front of a person, behind a person, or at a person. What you can do with your wrist is really important. It makes that ball move, and you want that ball to move.
I could have told you that. Well, that's a pretty nice looking jump serve you got there, Gail.
Well, thanks, Barb. I hope you've been working on your serve because you do remember who was the ace leader last year.
Well, I didn't want to tell you that.
It obviously wasn't Barbara Fontana.
Though Barbara Fontana has a very good serve, obviously, of her own. You know, the interesting thing, Barbara Fontana and her partner, Lori Cotis Forsythe, they are in a big battle, shall we say, with Elaine Roquet and Gail Castro for that #2 spot, and it should go all the way to Atlanta. 3 teams will go to Atlanta and compete in the Olympics, but the Goodwill Games are coming up this summer, so those two compete. Don't talk a lot off the court these days.
Actually, the issue is to be able to qualify for those international events in the off-season. In this last year, only 2 teams did qualify. Castro and Roquet did end up going to a couple of them, but they had to qualify for that, in a qualifier right before the tournament. They weren't an automatic berth into the playoffs.
8-2 the score. Masakayan goes up and hits through the block. Side out.
Masakayan and Kirby playing very steady. Their ball control seems right on.
San Diego. 8-2. Let's go. Come on.
Block, and that's wide.
We keep talking about the Olympics, and one way that we have adjusted, the WPVA has adjusted things is they've shrunk the court a little bit, 6 inches on each side. It's now 9 meters by 18 meters because that is the size for international play.
They were playing last year on a 30 by 60 foot court. Good dig. Got to get over, and Schubert Canoe can't get there. So another side out. Is that a negligible difference in terms of the court size?
I've asked some of the players if they notice it, and I haven't had one say yes. Surprising to me. I would think that you would notice it. Nice hustle there by Denny. Important for them to come up with some big defensive plays.
All right, start it out right here. Let's go. Come on, right here.
Liz Masakayan, so even-keeled in her emotional state, and really matches up well with Carolyn Kirby.
They have a tremendous partnership, really good chemistry.
That's long.
I'm actually impressed by Schubert Canoop and Richardson's chemistry here. They've only practiced together twice, and here they are in the finals of a tournament. Shows you the athleticism of both of those players.
And Deb Richardson was saying this has been much nicer than Lauderdale, because in Lauderdale we played together and they finished 5th, but that was the first time they had played together, period, this year, and they did get to practice a couple of times this week in preparation for Austin. Did you bring this weather, Maria, from Southern California?
No, this looks more like Denver weather to me, Drew.
See, if you knew anything about weather patterns. Kirby. Carolyn Kirby, 9-2. Masakayan's defense made it happen.
There's Masakayan showing why she is one of the top defensive players on the tour. Look how quickly she moves up to pass this ball from her partner, Carolyn Kirby.
All right, here we go.
They make it look so easy to move in the sand.
I think for them it is easy. It's everybody else that has difficulty, it appears. Another chance to score. Great set right on the net. I mean, that was an extraordinary set by Kirby.
She's the best setter on the beach. I'm always amazed. I mean, even with a horrible pass, she can often just pass the ball set the ball 50-50 for her partner. And there's no one that can take better advantage of a set like that than Liz Masakayan.
10-2, Kirby and Masakayan rolling along. Mary Jo Pepler, their coach. It's the few words of encouragement. You're watching Prime Network.
You don't have to be 19 to have a body like this. You don't have to work out 8 hours a day. You don't have to be narcissistic or shallow. In fact, all you really need is $39 a month. The SoloFlex Muscle Machine. What are you waiting for?
HSE invites you to create your very own professional baseball dream team. It's fun and it's free. Compete against other Fantasy League managers for weekly prizes supplied by Manny's Baseball Land. The grand prize is a VIP trip for two to a series game for the 1994 championship title. Entry forms and rules are available in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram Sunday paper beginning May 1st. Or mail a self-addressed envelope to this address. So get in the game. Join the HSE Fantasy Baseball Challenge.
We continue on from Austin, Texas. Third stop on the WPVA Tour. Drew Goodman, Maria Barnes. The most effective weapon on the beach, the ace. And here are the Coors Light Silver Bullet ace leaders. Gail Castro, she won it last year. Carolyn Kirby, then Wendy Fletcher. We asked Fletch what she thinks about when she goes back to serve.
When I go back to serve, I'm generally thinking of giving it my best shot and going for the ace. Sometimes my partner and I think about who we want the ball to go to, and that would be the only variation.
I think Fletcher's such a dominating server because she's so strong. She's very committed to her weight training.
Do most of the players work out in the weight room?
I'd say probably 95% of them do, yes.
There's an ace, Carolyn Kirby.
Schubert, Knoop, and Richardson did not even attempt to pass this ace. I mean, it looked as if it was going out. Just followed the line all the way down the side of the court. What a tremendous serve. It's tough to serve a line serve that's that hard.
All right, here we go.
Enjoying herself. 21 aces, 17 matches this year. If you average better than ace a match, that is outstanding. Cut shot. Well done by Denny Schubert-Knoop. They need to make a run here. They're down 11-2. And again, earlier today, they scored 11 points off of Kirby and Masakayan.
Yes, they played them much tougher earlier today. And I think the thing that's broken down in their game is that they're not keeping the pressure on with their serving, and they've lost some of their ball control.
And Denny, ooh, there's a shank pass. And Massakayan, even the fleet Massakayan, could not catch up and keep that one alive.
Like I said earlier, the deep serves will score against Kirby and Massakayan. That was a deep serve, and that was to Massakayan, which is the strategy that I would adhere to if I were Richardson and Knoop.
And interesting, Knoop again does not employ the jump serve. She had struggled with it the last couple of times. And they get a break. Massakayan was short with the swing, but it climbed over the net and dropped down.
Yeah, it looks as if she kind of drops her arm here. She goes up looking as if she's swinging full.
Here we go.
Her arm dropped.
11-3. Massakayan, originally from Quezon City in the Philippines, grew up in Santa Monica. And Deb Richardson goes up and again, we talked about Deb being a lefty. When you set her, when you're Denny Schubert Knoop, a little bit different to set a left-hander as opposed to a right-hander.
Absolutely, and not a very easy adjustment to make. You need to set the ball over their left shoulder as opposed to their right shoulder, and Denny's been doing a pretty good job. I'll tell you, Deb's setting has improved tremendously this year, something that she says she worked on in the offseason.
Big kill by Massakayan. Richardson really came on toward the end of last year.
She's such a big player, Deb Richardson. She's such a commanding force at the net, and if she's teamed with a very quick defensive player, she can do some damage.
Richardson excelled at the end of the year in the top of the tour event, won by Carolyn Kirby. Ooh, bad set that time by Massakayan, but it still works because Carolyn Kirby looked at the defense and found a hole.
There were bad sets on both sides of the nets. The key to this play actually was the set that Knoop gave to her partner Deb Richardson. She wasn't able to really do much with. And again, you can see Kirby completely runs under that set by Massakayan, expecting a much better one, obviously.
Not exactly beach attire here this day in Austin, Texas, but it's a good volleyball town. They've come out to watch our finals.
Track was the only thing my strict mother would let me do. I had to wear a skirt because in our religion, women couldn't wear pants. People say, how could you run in a skirt? All I can say is, I believed I could. And also, I've learned to make my skirts a little shorter.
Hey, what do these songs have in common?
What I like about
Give up? They're all on Totally 80s. The greatest hits from the decade when communism died and music videos were born. 40 awesome songs on 2 CDs or cassettes, including...
People rocking, hear people chanting, feel it hot, hot, hot.
Walk like an Egyptian.
If you went to the store and bought all of these hits on CD, it'd cost you over $400. Didn't the 80s teach us about overspending? Be smart. Get Totally 80s.
To order, call the number on your screen or send check or money order. 2 CDs, $24.99. 2 cassettes, $19.99. Order now.
Fourth time that the WPVA is convened in Austin, Texas. And the 1994 NCAA championships will be held here in Austin. And traditionally, the University of Texas has a pretty good program. Now, that's what I need, a sweater like that puppy has.
Even the dog has a sweater on today. It is cold. Difficult for the players, too, to stay warm.
Last year, that was not the problem when we were here in Austin.
No, not at all.
Last year was trying to find some shade. It was about 95 degrees, and the humidity was about 2,000%.
Well, that's the norm for Austin at this time of year. This is quite unusual.
12-3. Kirby and Massakayan trying to win their 12th consecutive title. They're leading Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert Knoop playing in their first final together.
Nope,
Richardson. Great up. Take that, says Deb Richardson. She got another opportunity on the set and ripped it.
I think that hit about on the 3-foot line. What a pound by Deb Richardson. Difficult to block. I'd say the biggest adjustment against a left-handed hitter is in blocking. It's just it's a whole different game, and not easy to make that adjustment.
Set from Massakayan, joust at the net, and there was a touch by Liz Massakayan. So a point for Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert-Knut. 12-4 now.
Definite joust here. Liz Massakayan just really powers, but it looks as if she goes into the net.
All right, here we go. 4, serve and 12.
It's really good to see Deb Richardson smiling when she plays because, and there's a shank pass, 12-5. You won't see that very frequently. Poor communication by Massakayan and Kirby.
There's a rule in beach volleyball where the cross-court player passes the ball. Kirby is clearly the cross-court player here, and it should have been her ball.
They talk about a team being relaxed. Mary Jo Pepler, their coach, smiling away, and I suppose you would expect that, leading by 7 points, 12-5.
These two look as if they're cracking up a little bit here. Like, we've played together for so long. How can we not communicate on a simple play like this?
They're in control. They lead 12-5. The finals from Austin, Texas. Stop number 3 on the WPVA Tour. You're watching Prime Network.
Come on out to the track where millions get paid. Go Greyhound Park, the place to play.
My friends kept telling me you've got to go. But when I walked into this place, I couldn't believe it. This place is awesome.
I come out to Gulf Greyhound Park for the excitement. There's a race every 15 minutes, and there's no waiting around.
I said, come out to the track, the place to play, Gulf Greyhound Park.
Did you know the new federal cable TV regulations give you more service options if you have a problem with your cable service? You can either do the repairs yourself or pay someone else.
While a TCI service technician can repair the problem, and we will bill you using our hourly service charge.
Or you can choose the easiest new alternative.
TCI's inside wiring maintenance program. It's just 49 cents a month.
In-home service costs are covered under this plan without additional charge.
Just give us a call. We'll take care of the rest.
Call TCI Cablevision for complete inside wire maintenance program details.
The NASCAR circuit sizzles as Eli Gold puts you in the pits with racing's top name. Get geared up and talk to the pros on This Week in NASCAR. Thursday nights at 10 on HSE.
Well, fitting that gentleman should be wearing a sweatshirt with New Orleans on it. That will be our next stop on the WPVA Tour, May 17th. Check your local listings around the country. Always fun to go visit Bayou Country. 12-5.
Love that Cajun food.
Yes, I remember how much Cajun food you ate last year. Massakayan and Kirby leading Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert-Knut. There's a side out. Big, strong angle hit from Carolyn Kirby.
Kirby does a good job of reading Deb Richardson there. You can see Deb goes up to block the line, and Kirby does a good job of hitting around her.
Folks, watch at home how high off the sand Massakayan and Kirby get. That's wide. Out of the sand. And then next time you're at the beach, try jumping in the sand. Try to see how high you can get. It's extraordinary, literally, their elevation off the beach. Ooh.
I think it's funny to watch people just try to walk in the sand.
Watch me walk in the sand or stumble in the sand. Carolyn Kirby.
Over here, ladies, hang on for a moment.
Here's a perfect example of what you're talking about, Drew. Look how Carolyn just gets up and out of the sand, and she even kind of stumbled a little bit there. In fact, they were telling me, Kirby Massakayan were telling me before the game, there were these big holes in the court, and you can stumble into like a deep patch of sand and throw you off. It looks like that's what happened there.
Nobody
The set for Shoop Canoop. Good dig. Kirby to score. Cut shot winner, 13-5. It's just that simple.
You can see the versatility of Carolyn Kirby there. She passes the ball. She's waiting for Liz's set. She takes her eye off the play. Look, she looks over. Okay, where should I hit this ball? Comes back with the perfect Dean shot. That is not easy to do.
That's great analysis and great camera work, because we saw the quick look, and then she found the open space on the court.
Danny, no, online.
Schubert Canoop, good block. Canoop with the set for Richardson. Good up that time by Kirby. 14-5.
Richardson needs some more communication from her partner. She goes up to hit that ball. She didn't know where to go. Danny should have called out for the short shot to her, because both Kirby and Masakayan were deep in the court.
14-5.
Carolyn Kirby kind of comes up with the dig, though. Deb Richardson almost digs that ball. She's in position for it.
Cruising right now. Kirby and Masakayan, 14-5. Timeout on the court. We'll be back to Austin right after these messages on Prime Network.
How would you like access to 135 great Texas golf courses without paying any green fees?
Hi, I'm Kathy Whitworth, and I want to let you in on one of the best deals in golf, the American Cancer Society's Texas Golf Pack. It's a year's worth of golf at courses all over Texas, and all it takes for you to receive one is a $25 contribution. Take it from me, if you like to play golf, or if you want to send the gift that all golfers are asking for, call the American Cancer Society today.
Attention college baseball fans. Now's your chance to pick the College Player of the Year and National All-Star Team. Plus, win a trip for two to the finals in Omaha, the Smith Series giveaway. To make your picks and enter the giveaway, call 1-900-976-VOTE or mail your info to this address. Remember, a portion of the proceeds go to help the kids at Texas Children's Hospital. Don't forget to catch the winners on the Smith Awards Banquet, June 23rd on your Prime affiliate. Call 1-900-976-VOTE and help us go to bat for kids. Prime Racing has got the checkered flag. Start your engines, race fans. Prime has captured the pole position for the top NASCAR, ASA, NHRA, SCCA, and AMA road events. Plus, magazine shows that highlight the leading drivers and the best races. Whether it's four wheels or two wheels, anything that burns rubber, shifts gears, pushes the barriers of speed, Prime Racing has got the checkered flag. Start your engines with Prime Racing throughout the season on HSE.
14-5. Carolyn Kirby and Liz Masakayan leading Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert Canoop. With Maria Barnes, I'm Drew Goodman. Happy you're with us on Prime Network. We're in Austin, Texas at Zilker Park, just a few minutes from the capital. Here we go. This is championship point. Carolyn Kirby to serve.
Over, high over.
Side out.
Liz Masakayan touching the net on her block there.
Side out swing, she'll serve up 5-14.
Important for Canoop to get a tough serve here.
And Denny has not served well in this match, and she'd be the first one to tell you.
Yes. She seems like her concentration may be a little off. She may be fatigued. It'll be interesting to talk to her after the match and find out. Just not playing as well as she can.
There's the ace. Liz Masakayan caught Deb Richardson leaning the wrong way. 15-5, and they keep rolling along, don't they? Liz Masakayan and Carolyn Kirby have now won 12 consecutive titles and 48 matches in a row. And they make amends for last year in Austin, Texas.
All right, folks, we're now our award ceremony right out here on the stage, on the court.
Tough to to compete against a team that serves like we just saw from Kirby and Masakayan. At least 3 serves that Schubert, Knoop, and Richardson weren't even able to touch, and there's an example of that.
Carolyn Kirby had a terrific serve last year. If it's possible, she's serving even better this year through the first 3 events. 15-5, Kirby and Masakayan, yet another title. When we come back, Maria will be courtside with Carolyn and Liz. Stick around.
Get it moving.
Keep on moving.
And the Silver Bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
I was a tomboy. My brothers called me Jimmy. They used me to practice tackling. They think they taught me everything about sports. Well, now I play soccer all over the world. And I just want to say, pay attention, boys.
Been proven more effective than Gatorade.
Consuming Gatorade during exercise has been shown to improve
absorb 30% faster than water.
Gatorade contains the optimal balance of carbohydrates and electrolytes.
No other beverage has been proven more effective at replacing
nothing as much as your deep down body thirst better.
Scientifically tested, athletically proven. Only Gatorade Thirst Quencher is liquid technology.
For that deep down body thirst.
Come out to play!
Prime Network's presentation of the Coors Light Pro Beach Volleyball Tour has been brought to you by Reebok and by Coors Light. When you want a taste that goes the distance, reach for the Silver Bullet. Coors Light. Keep on moving. For the 44th time in her career, Carolyn Kirby has another title, and for the 21st time, Liz Masakayan has a title. 15-5 over Deb Richardson and Denny Schubert-Knoop here in Austin, Texas, and my partner is courtside with our winners. Here's Maria Barnes. Maria?
Thanks, Drew. Liz, your worst 2 tournaments the last 2 years have been here in Austin, Texas. Do you feel like you've broken the jinx?
Oh, yes. I'm not a superstitious person, but I really needed to have a good tournament here in the city, so it's a real special one for me.
Carolyn, your serving was great last year, but this year it seems even so much more consistent. What are you doing differently?
I did some strength work on my shoulder, and I think serving throughout the off season, playing internationally, really kept my shoulder in a groove. I never had time off, so it's kind of just rolled into the season and feels pretty good. So
I think that strength work has also carried over into your hitting, because it seems like you're hitting the ball a lot harder.
I think that's the same thing. My shoulder is feeling good, and when my shoulder's feeling good, I have more excitement about hitting.
The rest of the teams are going, oh, great.
No, she's just excited when she gets served, so she pounds it harder.
Okay, Liz, we've got to talk about those left-handed hits. What's up with those?
I don't know. It's just Carolyn.
Don't blame it on me.
I'm not. No, it's something just added to our strategy, but it's I need still a lot of work on it, but it's fun.
Yeah. You're hitting the ball pretty hard, actually. All right, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Drew, back to you.
All right, Maria, thanks very much. Time now for our Killer Loop Killer Play of the Day. Fitting that it should involve Liz Masakayan. She was the outstanding hitter on the tour last year, and you see why right there. Our Killer Loop Killer Play of the Day. Tournament recap: in 5th place, Wendy Fletcher and Marla O'Hara. Pretty solid tournament again for them. Also in 5th place, the best result of the year for Heather Hafner and Shannon Millen. Next up in 4th place is Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet. They had 2 seconds coming into this tournament, so they slipped down a little bit. And in third place, the team of Lori Cotis Forsyth and Barbara Fontana for the third consecutive week. Our runners-up this day, Denny Schubert-Knoop and Deb Richardson. And you know our champions very well, Liz Masakayan and Carolyn Kirby. The beat goes on. They keep rolling along. 12 consecutive tournament victories, 3 in a row this year. And if it's possible, they're playing even better volleyball right now than at any time last year. It appears their only competition are themselves. So our champions, Liz Masakayan and Carolyn Kirby, once again, the final score 15-5. Next time we reconvene, we will be in New Orleans, just off Bourbon Street. We'll do that in May. We hope you'll join us then. Again, for my partner, Maria Barnes, and our entire Prime Network crew, I'm Drew Goodman saying so long from